Yeah. Cream. Whoa. A cream. Yeah. Ice cream. Ice cream social. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Ice Cream Social, man. You know the vibes. Got your boy Mondo in the building.
What up, Rory, man? Free Spirit Superstar.
So we got a special guest today, as y'all can see, sitting to my left. So we got the influencer. We talked just before this, and he's cool with that term now. You dig what I'm saying? So we got the influencer. We got the foodie. We got, man, I don't even know the use
Fashion.
entrepreneur.
Fashion.
But see,
Come
I'm
on,
tapping into
man.
stuff you wasn't a part of the combo, though. The business
yeah.
owner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dabbling into fashion. Go ahead and introduce yourself. We got our boy Mike G here.
Yeah, Mike G. Definitely appreciate y'all having me on here. And yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much covered the bases on everything. I know we'll dive a little bit deeper into
For sure.
everything that I do, while I'm here. So I'm ready to get into it.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. So you work with a lot of brands.
Yeah.
A lot. So we talked about having memberships for people to rent out Teslas. We talked about having partnerships to go eat at people's restaurants to give them reviews and how that's so influential. How do you decide what brand to work with? And how do you determine who to say no to?
Man, it's interesting because like at the point I'm at now, like I'm kind of trying to like phase my life out of being an influencer just to like buy some time back for myself. I feel like naturally I will just always be an influencer of just informing and letting people know things that are out there. But like me actively doing it is different. So, over this last year, I've intentionally not done a lot of stuff just because, like I said, I'm trying to buy time back for myself. But when I was fully invested, at the beginning, it was about working with local owned businesses. But when, I start having people like Kroger, McDonald's, and Mountain Dew, and Toyota knock on my door, it's like those kind of checks is different.
Yeah.
And these local businesses can't do that.
Facts.
So at the end of the day, as long as it aligns with the things that I want to do and like with my morals, I feel like it's cool. And those are brands that are nationally recognized. My goal at first was to just not capitalize, but like capture people in Indianapolis, state of Indiana, and then Chicagoland.
Yep.
And then from there I could grow. So that way, when those other partnerships did come along like they did, they're more meaningful because people seen what I did locally. So it's like when I do something with Dunkin' Donuts now people in New York could be like, damn, I didn't know they was doing that. Opposed to it just being people here that might be like, I don't want to go to Dunkin'. I want to do something local.
So for the corporate partnerships, was it a feeling of when it finally happened, right? Was it a feeling of finally, like I've been waiting on this, or was it a feeling of like, damn, that took long enough?
Neither one, because I can honestly say like I ain't expected like just how everything kind of played out. Like I would have never expected for McDonald's to be hitting me up like, we about to start doing Uber Eats. Like we the people who launching Uber Eats. We want you to help. Like that just wasn't even a thought because one, I didn't know Uber Eats was on the way, and then I didn't know that I was on their radar. But there's things like, they wanted me. It was some people that wanted me to like promote the vaccine where I could have made like a crazy bag. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to tell people what to do with their body.
Right.
Everybody got to eat. So it's like me being an influencer within that world is a little bit easier because that McDonald's might be bad for you, but if you choose to eat it, cool. But like the world in shambles, and y'all like, no, tell everybody take a shot.
The
I'm
jab,
like, nah,
right. Mike G jabbing
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you think, when you say getting away from being an influencer, what do you plan on getting into, and besides more you time?
I mean, all the other stuff that I'm already doing is just like taking those things like to another level, helping launch new businesses and just, continuing to grow and scale those businesses. And when I say like the influencer, it's really like, unless it's a crazy bag, like I'm cool on a company saying, we'll give you X amount of dollars to come and talk about this restaurant. Just because it just takes up a lot of time, especially when I'm trying to do stuff the way that I do it. Like I don't want to like half-ass nothing. But I have thought about with some stuff, like, I could just hire somebody, have them go make the video, I'll post it, but I just feel like it's not as organic, so it might not touch how it should.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, I actually want to touch on the vaccine partnership, right?
Yeah.
What didn't happen, right? So we talk about a lot on the show on what we consider to be like influencers or like people like selling their soul, right? As far as like going against the grain. Do you feel like that would have been one of those moments for you where it would have been like, this is just not what I stand for. This is not a part of that moral boundary.
Yeah, exactly.
Only
Yeah,
for
I mean,
money.
and it's like I talked to a lot of people about it because it would have been like a huge deal, like biggest check I would have ever seen at that time. So it was like something to really think about.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm out here just rich and I got all the money in the world. So to turn down that money, it like took some conversation with my mentors,
I
family
was gonna say, was
members.
it a long
like,
talk or was it like?
yeah,
one of
it
them,
was like
okay.
it was like a 3-week process before
Okay.
I gave them like a hard no.
It was too.
Exactly,
And
where
maybe
it's like,
having vaccine would have helped. a
Yeah.
lot of people.
and I just didn't like how it was so heavily pushed on the black community.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I felt like I was being that pawn, but at the same
Mhm.
time, people were taking it and stuff was happening. So I knew I wouldn't have been looked at in the worst light, but it was one of those moments where it's like, what are you willing to do to get what you want? And it's
Mhm.
like, money ain't my ultimate goal, so I'm cool.
That's
It would have
dope.
been dang near on a Mike G for president campaign.
Nah, it would have been wild for real.
So when we talk about brands, right? So we talked about outside brands. Let's talk about the inside, like what you have going on. So you started a wine brand,
Yeah.
Reflections. So, and you have your wine at several events as well as Total Wines in Nora.
No, it's not a Total Wine.
I thought it was at Total Wines. Am I
What?
tripping?
What you think?
Unless they snuck it up there and I ain't know. I hope it's up there.
Man, it might have snuck it up there.
Okay.
I
I gotta
Newfields.
double
I know
check.
that, right?
Yeah, I'm at
Yeah, I know
Newfields,
about
and
Newfields.
then
He
had
a
a
couple
few
restaurants,
spots,
couple
yeah.
bars and
Yeah.
clubs in the city. But I mean, shit, I gotta go up to Nora and check it
see,
out.
because Nora's my neck of the woods. I thought it was up there for sure, for sure.
It might be. I mean, because the wine is in partnership with Daniel's Vineyard, and they have distribution set up with all the major not distributors, but like retailers from liquor stores
Got it.
to grocery stores and everything. So ultimately, decisions like that are up to them. So I'm fighting hard to get in those positions, but I have to first prove that people like the wine, that people want to go buy it in these places, because once you get in stores, like, it's really only about money.
Yeah.
It's about the bottom line. So I just been careful over these last 2.5, 3 years, just trying to make sure that I grow the brand and awareness before I just enter into a market that I don't know nothing about.
So I'm glad you touched on that. So that industry right now, just the alcohol industry is very popular as far as amongst the celebrities, right? The Rocks, the LeBrons, the Kevin Harts, right? The list goes on and on. So how did that idea come about? Was it something that you approached Daniel's Vineyard with, or was it something they approached you with?
It was kind of like something that was one and the same. Like, I worked with them throughout the pandemic a little bit, just helping build awareness for everything they had going on. And we kind of grew a relationship because, remember, during the pandemic, it was like hard to get everything, but it was hard to get toilet paper. So they was doing something for like $50. You was getting like 3 bottles of wine, canned wines. You was getting slushy kits, and they was giving you a 4-pack of toilet paper. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I was just talking to their marketing people, like, how y'all even think of that, and like how y'all get access to all this toilet paper when nobody else got it. So we just kind of built the relationship, and then after that happened, it kind of had somewhat of an impact of people going out there to like support and get the wine, and then get all the other stuff that came with it. They were like, what if you made your own sangria, and we did like a private dinner, or we did an event? And I'm like, well, what if we bottled my own wine? So we kind of went back and forth and just talked about what that would look like. And then one day I got an email, and they're like, you know what, let's do it. Let's try it. So it was just really relationship. And I feel like that's just how business works overall. Like, if you can't build relationships with people and sustain those relationships, then ain't shit gonna happen for you. Unless you got a lot of fucking money.
Correct. When I think of relationships,
you still need
people
to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, other
Right.
people got a lot of money too. So
yeah, that's true.
when I think of when you bring up relationships, and how far they can go, I think of like what you do with Daniel's Vineyard. So you went from even creating a wine with them to now even when you do events
Yeah,
up there. And it's getting pretty versatile with the events that the relationship that you've been able to
for
build with
sure.
them. So can you kind of go into how you've transitioned into doing events at
Yeah, I
Daniel's
mean,
Vineyard?
even with that, like, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, but people who don't know me from like food blog and other things, they think now I'm like a party promoter, and it's like a hard no on me being a party
That's
promoter.
crazy.
Like
That's
that's
what
not
it
the
is,
goal.
and
Yeah,
that,
it's like
yeah.
because people see it, and it's like when your next party, and it's like I don't throw parties. It's an event. Like it's a party atmosphere at moments in time, but it's not just that. But even with that, like that was just something that happened organically. When we made, because the first I did a red wine, and I did just like a private launch event for people who like pre-bought bottles for my initial stuff. And then that summer in June, did my white wine Charisse and released that. And then they were like, you know what? And this is crazy because they're like, you know what? We got like 2 kegs left that, we don't have enough bottles to finish bottling it. So what if you just did a free event and just had people come out to try the wine, see if they'll even like it. So like my first Sunday Fun Day was like 1,000% free. I didn't know what to expect. I was just telling people pull up to try the wine. And it probably like 300 or 400 people showed up. And that's when like something clicked in my head. Like I didn't think this many people would just pull up on a mild Sunday when, in Indianapolis. And then from there, I did a couple more events. And then at that point, like Daniels were like, we love the crowd interaction. We love that people are coming out. But we're gonna have to start selling tickets because we got to pay people. Like we got to pay cleanup crew. We got to pay security. We got to pay to get the stage set up. We got to pay police officers because it's so many people. Like all of this shit like adds up. Where we just did it just to let people try the wine. So it just kind of happened organically, and I feel like I naturally gravitate towards, and not no disrespect or nothing, but like educated people or people who like went to college or been around college atmospheres, and that's like they friends. So it's like as we all continue to elevate, I'm 29. It's just like we are in different circles than people that just want to go to the club every week, which it ain't nothing wrong with that. Like it's people that went to college that's in the club every week, but it's just a more fluent demographic of young Black people and young Black professionals that's doing stuff in the city, creatives and everything.
Give you a purpose behind
Yeah, like you could literally go to my events and like make a intentional connection with somebody, unless they already done drank like 2 bottles of wine by the time you start talking to them.
Listen. So it's crazy that you bring this up because they know I don't go to strip clubs. I really don't even go to bars for real. Like I'll pull up to a Sunday Fun Day, or I'll pull up to, Songs for You, like, curated events.
Right.
Because that's more like my vibe, right? It's more like the people that they say I kind of connect with.
Yeah.
But then once I'm in there, then the drinks get to going.
Yeah.
But a lot of that, is credit to, you and the other people throwing the events, right? Is because y'all are, creating that atmosphere that allows somebody to be comfortable.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I took away when I woke up the next morning with a wine hangover. I said, damn, I know that motherfucker was fine. And I never got no bad reviews on my act on like how I was acting too. So I was like, that's cool too. But
that is the good thing. Like when you wake up and you like kind of know what happened, but you like, okay, ain't nobody say I went too crazy.
He be trying to give me a recap. I don't even want to hear it, bro. If I didn't embarrass myself, I'm straight, bro. I don't want to hear nothing else. So for you, when you look at the events you throw, what's that moment of realization of your not necessarily like a I made it moment, but like self gratitude. So like I was going through your post, and I saw you had posted a picture of the line outside of the last Sunday Fun Day, right? And it was around the block, like we were in the line too. Is that like a moment for you where you sit down and say like, damn, like I did that, or have you still not reached that moment yet?
I mean, I get that in spurts, but like, no, me seeing that line is like, I hired the wrong people to be working the door because there shouldn't be no line like that. The way that this shit going, like, I'm always like trying to be proactive in what a problem could be so that they don't happen. So no, that kind of pissed me off. The only reason I posted that picture is because like I was in the bottom at the corner and I felt like it played like, where's Waldo, where's Mike G? But no, that line pissed me off. But I mean, it was cool for other people to see because the reaction from it is like, damn, I gotta go.
See, but
Yeah,
that's
we was
what-
like, yo, it's chubby as hell. out
Right.
this motherfucker.
that's one of those things I think people should pick up on. It's like, from one perspective, you look at it like, man, he's selling tickets, he packing the event out. But when you listen to him, he's strategically planning and doing, his focus is on something else.
Yeah.
His focus is on why the line is long.
No, yeah, it's about
it's
the
fat
experience.
as hell and I'm that dude,
And that's always my thing, especially with like, since I'm into event throwing and party planning, I guess at this point it's like the experience, because I don't want it to just feel like anything else. So everything from like, me sending emails to like, I could sell more tickets at Daniel's Vineyard, if we opened up more space and had more access, but the parking situation is not the best in the world. So I don't want to have, and we can't have people parking in the grapes and fucking shit up, because that is what will not give us access to be there no more. So it's just about those small things where you already got to walk a mile anyway. So just catch an Uber.
So when it comes to, so we talked about that aspect of you, right? So now I want to dive into your clothing brand. I'm gonna let you introduce it because you're already wearing it. So if you just want to tell people your clothing brand.
Yeah, so it's called WDRFA. We don't run from adversity, but WDRFA is the acronym that we mostly go by. We've been doing it since 2016. We do, we got tees, leather goods. We make candles now. We got drinkware. We dabbled in cutting soap for a little bit. It didn't really work out for us. So we just plan to, the strengths of what we sell and what we think that, our demographic of customers like. But the brand is supposed to be like a lifestyle brand.
Hold on, before you get into that.
Yeah.
Now I got a question for you. So we don't run from adversity. I feel like I know what that terminology means for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, but I want to ask you in person, like, what does that term mean for you? Like, what made you sit down and say, that's the term I want to stick with for my brand?
I think it's just something that stuck just from like trials and tribulation through childhood. And then even now, like, as I continue to go through different things, it just continues to relate. And I feel like it does with all of us. But like, the more rooms and stuff I'm walking into, like, I could literally, like, I'll be mad all the time leaving meetings, but it's like, I got to keep pushing, because if I don't, then it's like they won. So it's like not running from, whatever big stage or whatever big moment that could help open the next door for somebody else. But that's where I'm at with it now. But it originally started from like basically like childhood traumas, and then just shit happening throughout life that it's like, if I let that shit take over me, I'll probably lose my mind. So just keep going.
And that really taps into what I was telling you before the interview, as far as me spending so much time outside of Indy.
Yeah.
Right, so I talked to you about how I went to high school here, went to North Central and shit, but then I went out of state for college. So like for me, the terminology means like no matter what situation you're faced with, you attack it head on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't try to bob and weave. You don't try to go the opposite direction. You either go through it or not at all.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of how I've approached life myself. Is like, if it's, you have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Anybody can do the same thing day in and day out, and then you'll just turn into the next nigga that just look back 50 years like, damn, I did the same shit for 50 years.
So that's
right.
like your explanation of we don't run, or we don't run from adversity.
Yeah, exactly, right. That's when I read that terminology, when I read that phrase, that's why I was like, that shit resonates with me a lot. So.
Yeah. So that's the main thing. And I mean, it's like sport based. Like my business partner, he plays sports at a high level collegiately. I played sports a little bit in high school, but if you ever played a sport, a competitive sport, your coach used the word adversity a lot.
All right. First of all, what sports did you play? Because I didn't know you played any sports.
Football, and I golfed in high school. People don't really know that.
Is fire. I ain't never did it, but I think about putting my daughter in golf.
Yeah, people don't know that.
And you play what
I
position?
don't see him out
What position did you play in football?
I just gave y'all that exclusive. Defensive tackle.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you was in there tearing it up.
I was in the trenches. No.
Okay.
I wasn't tearing it up. 3 days was killing me. 3 days was killing the nigga.
Hey, so when it come to we get the fashion, the food, and we ain't getting the food yet. So before we dive into food,
yeah,
with business, food, and fashion, which one is your favorite? If you got a favorite, and then list the other two.
I don't know. It's like it changes based on what's going on. So like with what's going on with WDRFA right now is exciting, but it's a lot of work. The shit that I do with Hang Time, because I work with them too, that's really exciting with All Star and stuff coming up. But I think it's all like everything I do is just a part of my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So it just depends on the day for real.
So you touched on All Star Weekend. So for those that don't know, All Star Weekend will be here next year in 2024. So it's arguably one of the bigger events we've had, the biggest event we've had since the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Indy 500 don't count because it's recurring. So how does Mike G prep for All Star Weekend?
Man, just with everything that I got going on, just continue to connect, build relationships, and then hopefully be trying to sit courtside or something. But no, I mean, I got a venue set up to have an event that weekend already. So that's all I really got set in stone. Like I say, outside of the stuff I got going on with Hang Time, really just trying to rub the right shoulders and shit. Do what we all trying to do. Be at the games and just experience it too. Like I don't really want to have to work too hard that weekend to have a good time.
So are you more of like a rookie, not like a rookie, but like a skills challenge kind of nigga? Are you like an all-star game? Or are you like dunk contest, 3-point contest kind of person?
I think it's more so like the environment and not even like the players that's there, but just like the type of people and the people that's being there. Yeah, like just to experience it. Because it's like, it's just probably an excitement from the little kids to, our age to even adults that's older. Like, now I really get to see like 24 or 30 of the best players in the NBA right now at one time.
Now,
but I mean, the dunk contest be weak a lot of times. I probably would be most turned about the 3-point contest
the 3-point
for real.
Contest got me.
The skills challenge, like I don't want to see a nigga make a bounce pass in the basket. Like it's cool, but it's like he dribbled real fast and boom.
Kobe do that? Did Kobe do the skills challenge?
I don't know. Chris Paul's always in it, bro. Now they switched it up to where now it's like team based, like it'd be the Antetokounmpos and shit. That's just real watered down, bro. But I'd be geeked about, just seeing LeBron though. Like,
you a big Bron fan?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like, I've
wow.
probably seen him man, just since I was a kid, bro. So like, that is like my Jordan. So I got a picture of me probably like in the first grade of like wearing a LeBron headband and like
it is the first grade. You try to make it seem like you don't know. You like probably like it
might be for a fact.
Right.
The exact date and time he got the headband.
Nah, that's lit though.
And then like my pops had the very first LeBron shoes. I was just like,
did you buy them when they just came back out?
Nah. I'm kind of trying to like steer away. So I'm a big shoe person too. So like, I'm trying to steer away from buying so many shoes so that I can put my money elsewhere. No, it's like if I really do the numbers on, if I could buy a pair of shoes every single time they come out, it's like, could I put that somewhere else?
Yeah.
And I'm really not a fan of like selling shoes either, because I like the shoes I buy. Like I've picked certain shoes and I get them.
I mean, I know people that have bought houses off their shoe collection. Like to me, shoes ain't really a bad investment. I mean, right now it's kind of dry, but like if you was buying shoes from like 2020 to 2022. Yep. You probably could have ran up 300-400.
See, that's all. We was talking about it off camera too. I'm more like a sentimental nigga. So I don't ever look at shoes.
It's
cool.
I'm
about to sell them. I be looking at them like they just gonna sit here and they just gonna look pretty in this case.
See, Buddy wealthy. You ain't know that he don't get into that much. Buddy, Buddy dad.
He gonna say that shit.
I mean, you can't
like that's like him being called a party promoter. You gotta sound straight false ass lies. Nigga. You gotta
look
chill.
Now for All-Star Weekend. Do y'all expect it to be star studded, or do y'all? It's gonna be February, right?
Me personally, I don't. Kind of cold. Coming right off of Cleveland and Utah, I don't think it's gonna necessarily be star studded, but like Indianapolis in a great like position of America for people that will just travel to come. Like we within 3 to 4 hours of a lot of places. And even if it ain't a lot of stars, it's going to be enough people that want to come in town. Like, no, it's out there. We going to go. Like,
a lot of traffic phone.
Yeah. And if we could catch weather like Super Bowl, that was my first year out here. That's what made me damn near stay. Like, it was overlit. It was 70 degrees in fucking February. There was so many people out. That shit was crazy.
I don't think people realize, to your point, how good of a city Indianapolis is for events like that, and Cleveland too. I don't know much about like Utah's market, but Indianapolis is not expensive. So like the cost for a hotel here during All-Star weekend is significantly cheaper than if it was in LA.
Houston.
You get what I'm saying? Or if it was in
Atlanta,
Houston or New York. So you can come here, catch a damn near a cheap flight, relatively speaking, stay at a relatively cheap hotel, and then enjoy all the shit for cheaper than if it was like in LA or somewhere. So it's just more affordable. You could really go crazy here too.
No, but what's kind of going on right now, Indianapolis is from what you doing, you know, not to toot our own horn, but Ice Cream Social, what we doing and others. It's like it's going to create a good environment for when people come and experience it. They'll see more Indianapolis. Like a lot of people I know and meet out of town, they don't even know that black people live here.
Just like we don't know shit about Nebraska, but it's probably lit out there too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. The worst part about here is like when you go out of town and you talk to people and they don't know shit. It's like we got 2 big sports teams. Like we got football, we got NBA and NFL, but it's like that's all people know. And I mean, even when we drive and shit, like outside of like Indianapolis, a big ass city, but as soon as you get to the outskirts and then go out, it's straight cornfields and shit. Like it really ain't much going on in Indiana per se, but like Indianapolis as a city, it is, and all the suburbs around it.
So let's talk about what you're doing in the city. So we don't run from adversity is getting a storefront. So we talked about this a little bit, but I want you to give the people a backstory on that. A, how you found the space. B, what this opportunity means for you. And just overall, right, what you're trying to cultivate with this new space.
So it'll be, I ain't gonna say too much. I told you more than I would, but so the space, it'll be downtown Indianapolis.
Okay.
And it'll be a 6-month pop-up. So when we started the brand, we intentionally didn't want to open a brick and mortar because my business partner had one before, and it was just like, even though the city's evolved, it's still a different climate in shopping where, people shop online opposed to just going in the store to get stuff. I feel like people go in the store to get things that, they need right now. But even like from household goods, people just ordered off Amazon when they could just go to Target, So it's like the way in which people shop is different. But we feel like this is something that'll like help validate the moves that we're trying to make over the next year, 2 years, because we're just trying to really take things to another level. I ain't gonna say too much.
Look, but I kind of just to step off from there, I kind of get it, because even if it won't be like as lucrative to have a brick and mortar, to be able to do this, to still be able to get that on your resume as a business for things like that, and analytics and all that stuff is good. So,
and what I will say is like, what we're doing, it will be more opportunities to do things like this for so long. Like the reason probably why a lot of us who have clothing brands or any kind of retail business have not opened a brick and mortar store is, one, because of the rent prices. Facts. And then 2, because of the lease terms. Like nobody's signing a fucking 6-year lease. That's why when you go downtown Indianapolis, it's all fucking restaurants or it's small businesses or corporations that just have office spaces that can really support that. Like with retail, you can't be paying no $5,000-$6,000 a month. Like it just ain't worth it unless we had like a shopping ass city where people were like walking outside. Like if we went to Bottle Works area and it was a Nike store, it was a Lululemon, it was Forever 21, then it'd be like, all right, I'll take a chance on paying $5,000 a month because I might be able to get it. But people ain't walking around downtown doing nothing but eating and drinking, which ain't bad, but it's just like suck for the city.
People definitely love Lululemon. That shit crazy.
Lululemon be cracking.
That shit.
And it's high. It's too expensive. I mean, it ain't too expensive, but it's high. Yeah, they be going crazy.
And they got a big store in Chicago. I'm walking past it. There's people everywhere. I'm like, man, for fucking workout gear, bro. This shit's crazy.
Go ahead, spend $190 on them leggings.
Man, that shit nuts. And look fat them leggings too.
Man.
But so I'm glad you gave us a little bit of insight there, right? So when it comes to curating pieces for the pop-up, are you more of into so don't take this the wrong way, but it's just a question though, right? So are you more into like the quality of like, let's say like a kith where you're like bringing in certain pieces together, or are you all in a position where you're like a Sheen or a Fashion Nova where you just want to flood the store out with a bunch of items?
No, so like probably something that has stunted our growth since we started is we've been so focused on quality. Like we always want shit to be the best possible, where, you know, different segments of consumers care about different things. So this will be the first time since people actually like be able to see, touch, and feel our stuff that we'll have like different tier pricing in the t-shirt. So we'll have different quality t-shirts where you know why this is $60 and you know why this is $40 and you know why this might be $25. Like, because you can actually feel it. When you try to do that online and people already look at you like, well, I know you or something like that. So it like diminishes what you're doing. It's just a harder sell. But over the last year, we've been listening more to consumers and what people had to say. Where I feel like when we started, we were trying to educate people because we were, you know, I've been shopping at Kith since they were connected to Atrium, but people didn't know what Kith was.
Facts.
Like I've been wearing New Balances since 2011. People was not wearing, you know, $9.99s. I mean, people weren't wearing the different shit. Yeah, exactly. Like it was just, it's just different. So we were trying to educate for so long that it kind of like stunted our growth because we could have probably made a lot of money by having different tiers where we've been able to, you know, eventually open up a brick and mortar and afford different things. But it's all a learning process. And as the internet keeps evolving, we should all just keep evolving.
I got one more question on what you had slightly mentioned it, but about people asking for discounts. Does Mike G get offended when people ask for discounts? Whether that's clothes or getting in an event for free, when people ask for discounts, is it like, damn, just pay the full price like everybody else, or is it like you'll look out?
I mean, not no more. I mean, because like that's how I try to structure stuff. Like I sell a lot of $10 tickets for my events. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally $10 that's helping me pay DJs and everything else. After so many of those tickets sell, ticket prices go up where I might make a little bit of money, but it's not like I'm not getting rich off nothing that I'm doing. And if I was, I probably wouldn't be doing so much. You know what I'm saying? But everything I do, I love. And I mean, when it comes to the clothes and everything, like it's people who are indebted who've been buying shit every time we release like 4 or 5 times a year, buying shit every time we release for 6 years. Like, of course you get a discount. You ain't even got to ask for it. You know what I'm saying? I move like that, like based on loyalty. Like if you deserve it, you're gonna get it. But outsider, it's like, damn, why your tickets to your event $40 don't come?
Facts.
Because you could have got it for 10.
Facts.
Like it really was $10. Like it ain't on me.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I'm picking up on why you're successful, just based on what you're saying, is because your focus is way more on
the people,
you know, the experience that people get, you know, the relationships, you know, and the interactions and what people take home with them mentally, you know, and things like that. So, you know, for when people see it on the outside and they thinking maybe you making so much money, or all of the popularity means so much, or all of that, it's like you hear it from his mouth. It's not his focus at all. So if you really want it, then stop focusing on it and get active, you know?
Yeah.
Man, to be honest with you, I was a little nervous coming into this interview because I'm like, man, I don't know what kind of information you can give us, right? Like what kind of insight you can give us, because sometimes, you know, when we talk to people, they try to hold back as much as possible, right? Feel like they can't share certain gems. So the one thing I will say is I appreciate you coming on the show and dropping gems, and then also giving an insight into who Mike G is. I think it's very easy for people to assume something, right? As far as like, you know, we talked about it, the party promoter to entrepreneur to influencer, but you know, to hear from the actual individual and how you categorize yourself, to me, is super dope. So
no,
I appreciate the gems you dropped for sure. Okay, so Man, again, we appreciate you for pulling up, bro. Kicking it with me and Free Spirit Superstars.
The co-host.
Is that what you
said?
See, you can't give them too much credit,
man. We got some time.
But we appreciate you dropping the gems. Like I said, I mean, I won't repeat the eulogy I just gave you, man, but we appreciate what you're doing in the city.
No,
and
for
we're
sure.
looking forward to All-Star Weekend for sure. And shit, I'm looking forward to getting more wine drunk, man.
More wine
drunk
man,
often.
Man, more wine, more products, man, more events, more experiences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's big. That's more bigger city lifestyle experiences that I really fuck with because we know how Napa is, man. We know how it's been.
And that's really what I'm focused on. I mean, you know, July is my last Sunset Sunday of the year. So that's my last time really, you know, going out to Daniel's Vineyard for the year and pushing the wine because, like I say, I want people to know that it's about connecting with people, but it's about also branding my wine, getting my wine out there, letting people know that my wine is 14%. So once it is in liquor stores, it's a good alternative to go get that opposed to going to get something else. You still wake up feeling not as bad as if you drink a whole bottle of tequila, but you can still have a good time. You can get it for your lady friend. You can get it for your husband. You've seen them drink it. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's fire though. I've had it's
but
fire.
Right now, I got some meetings over the next couple of weeks, and I'm really just trying to set up this festival for next year. Like I'm gonna do a huge like food and liquor or food and wine festival where, you know, it's just a whole different beast where I could really target everybody and I could really make it something that's reoccurring, like spring, fall.
Exclusive?
Basically, kinda, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm focused on right now. But I want to bring like big ass artists, everything, and we just could go crazy, and people could have something to look forward to every year, just like, you know, the Taste of Chicago and shit like that. So, you know, me.
Okay, so you going Lollapalooza? You going
essentially, yeah. You know, where it's like
I get the goals. I get the goals.
And they need something for sure.
Exactly. We don't have nothing, and people look at things in a different way. And even like now, like the reason why I haven't dropped tickets for the last event is because I've been trying to get or have conversations with like a couple different people to like host the event or perform, like artists and different people. But you know, it's summertime, so scheduling is kind of messed up. But I've been trying for the last 3 months. It's just not really working out. So I might have to just go ahead and drop the tickets without that happening.
You might be able to swoop up Gunna. You know, Gunna might be going for the low right now.
If you get Gunna, I'm not going. I'm not going. Cannot condone.
That new album hard.
Crazy.
I cannot condone, bro.
Hard.
Crazy. Best one yet, damn near.
It's hard.
You're really going crazy. No features.
What's your favorite song on the album?
What is it? Turned Your Back? Or Back at It? Come on, so hard though. The intro.
Yeah. I'm thinking about you. Thinking something. I'm thinking.
I think
it's called Thinking About You.
My baby be singing that. Crazy. Huh?
He can't get nobody to feature.
He ain't want nobody to feature on there.
He ain't want
Ratatouille, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh yeah.
He didn't drop about five solo videos of him in the dark and shit. Oh fucking.
You went rat?
Huh?
You went rat?
Nope, 10 toes.
10
toes.
You got it. That's where you play the rewind.
Don't rewatch what I said before. That was pre Rico. So, but what I will say is for the festival, if you're looking for partners, you know, not unbiased opinion, Ice Cream Social be interested in that for sure.
No, yeah, it's gonna be something where everybody gonna be involved. Y'all ain't gonna have no choice.
You ain't gonna need.
Like,
you gonna need it.
It's gonna have to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to do it at Military Park. Like, it ain't no secret, but I'm trying to do that. And you know, Military Park, 50,000 people could fit. So it's like we could literally go as crazy as we could make it happen. So I'm just trying to get everything in order to where I could really get like a board and everything set up where it's really some shit where everybody could eat for like literally every year. Like just lock it in.
Okay, now you talking generational wealth. See, I tell you, you better wrap it up.
Yeah, well, it's like niggas could die, but it's like it's going on. Like I say,
you better wrap it up because we go.
I felt offended when you said I was hogging the mic. Like it's bro's fault, man. Shit, like, what am I supposed to do? You feel what I'm saying? That's how I have a regular call. Like shit, it's going crazy.
You know, I gotta tuck your chain, man. This every episode, man.
Should I go there with the shirt, bro? Cause see.
Oh yeah.
Nah, see, I'm not even gonna do it to you.
Look, they gonna do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. He's got to put like a little something on the bottom, like he wore that last week. Well,
I've seen that before.
Swear. With that being said, man, go ahead and tell people where to find you.
Yeah.
Drop all the socials. We'll have it up on the screen and everything.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, at Where's Mike G. A lot of people be getting confused and I tell them out loud, but it's Where's, not Where Is. And then same on Snapchat, and then Facebook is just like spelled out like Where's Mike G. And then TikTok too, but I don't even use TikTok. I feel like I'm getting old.
You ain't getting the dances on there?
Nah, I don't dance.
You gotta follow.
You gotta know your.
Be on their dance.
You be on that
Buddy
dance.
Don't got one post on TikTok.
You gotta know your strengths and weaknesses in life. I just play to my strengths.
Swear.
But no, I appreciate y'all having me for real, man. Definitely a good conversation. We'll have to come back for another part when it's time for the festival to ramp up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Niggas gonna be busy. Everybody gonna be running around.
Yeah, working.
Right.
Everybody gonna be working.
But nah, yeah. I mean, hopefully it can be something like that where it's like different stages and shit set up, live podcast. We could do it. Yeah, it's just gonna have some investors. It's sounding.
I follow a lot of events
expensive.
like that. Like Afrotech is one.
Yeah.
Afrotech be doing a lot of stuff. What's the one in New Orleans we almost went to? Essence Fest. Yeah. I fuck with all that. The festivals for sure.
And the only thing like in business and that stuff, like literally, is just consistency and word of mouth. Like that still is what's gonna push everything to happen because. Of course, the first year, even if it is a success, like the next one gonna be better just off the strength of people knowing when it is, how they could get there, and they can expect it. So, I think it's something that we'll all be able to eat off of. Of course, we don't have no huge artists or nothing. Like you got to play into what's going on. And it's something, honestly, that shouldn't even have to be done with, Black Expo being what it is, but with those people being in positions of power and not being receptive to, what's going on. It's just crazy because, if I was there, I'll give Beyonce whatever the fuck she want. We finna revive it. I don't give a fuck she want $1 billion.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna crack for life.
Well,
like, we good for life. Beyonce come to Black Expo, it's over. It'll be lit. That's what I'm saying. People at the highest in their career was coming, and then now don't nobody come.
Nobody.
I mean, the coach might end up doing it for us. So we drafting black players now. You feel me? Quarterback,
man, black quarterback, man.
Hey,
man,
so
the city's
man,
up.
we gonna see. We gonna see. It seemed like
Beyonce, the only one can save him. Trying to tell niggas,
pay
that Billy.
You've been cracking in there. You've been cracking the code a little bit. So we just gonna see what's up with Indianapolis these next couple of years.
All right, man. Well, with that being said, that's like the third time trying to wrap it up, man. Kyle been going crazy. With that being said, man, I gotta say I appreciate you again, man.
Nah, yeah, we good.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Convo's gonna keep.
He don't want you to leave, man.
But we'll catch you on another episode of Ice Cream Social, man. You dig?
Sure, appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Cream. Whoa. A cream. Yeah. Ice cream. Ice cream social.